it's going to be tough to come from behind so far to really get the points. And some of these larger contests on DraftKings, man, I can't believe I was looking at some of the contest offerings. You got, tens of thousands of entries with only 30 players. It is going to be really tough to avoid duplicate lineups in a lot of these. So if you're going to play DFS, now more than ever, you need to leave plenty of money on the table. I think I saw something, implied odds for the winner of this event being either DJ or Rahm is extremely high.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Thomas, Webb Simpson definitely have a chance, but after that, the implied odds of one of these guys at 5 under, 4 under, or lower actually winning this golf tournament is pretty low. So you're gonna want to have somebody up there you're gonna want to have the winner you have to have the winner in your lineup this week. Like you're gonna suck if you don't. And then you're looking for guys who can, climb out of the T11, T16 starting range into the top 5 or top 10, or, if you're going to play a guy in the T26 to 30 range starting at even, who can actually make a run and finish top 15, top 10, and give you all those scoring points as well. I definitely think Eastlake is a course where history comes into play. You mentioned some of the previous winners here. So I do think course history is something to look at. Obviously, a lot of these guys are in decent form. There's some that is sneaking here. I mean, look at freaking Mark Leishman, who is still in the FedEx Cup playoffs, despite having lost by, like 60-something shots to Dustin Johnson over the last 2 weeks. So there's a couple in here that aren't in great form that they're getting in because of, a great early run. But Sung Jae is kind of another one I'm looking at. Not been playing well lately, but got so many points in the fall and before the restart. So, Pat, I mean, any other kind of thoughts in terms of DFS into what you're thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I think you made one of the points that I think is, if you're playing these tournaments, I definitely think you got to leave a lot of money on the table, because there's just no other way you're going to differentiate your lineup all that much, and there's going to be a lot of duplicate lineups, and like you said, you pretty much got to have the winner this week. It's going to be a light week for me. I mean, there are some guys, and we'll probably talk about them when we get to the bets, that I do think have an outside shot to come back from maybe that 4 or 5 under range. But outside of that, you're not going to get the finishing points from these other guys. You're just hoping that they score a ton, and that's very difficult on this course anyway. So we'll see about that. But I mean, there are some guys that strike my fancy in that, that kind of 8 and 9K range, like a Berger, a Harris English, those type guys. I think if I'm making a lineup, I might probably start with those two, even who knows where their ownership's probably going to be high, but all of the ownership is freaking high this week, unless you're going down in the 5 and the 6K range. You can, unless you maybe play an all 6K range guy tournament or lineup, but you're still not going to have any finishing points in that hardly at all. So,
I'm looking at, this is something we don't usually get into. We forgot to mention the tournament actually starts on Friday this week, not Thursday. So it goes Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, that's something to think about. I'm looking right now at ownership projections, which normally we don't look at this early, but I'm just looking now. The highest owned currently, as of recording this podcast on Tuesday evening, the highest owned projected players right now are around 30 to 31%, and that is Xander, Justin Thomas, and Tony Finau. The lowest owned projected player is Mark Leishman at 4.5%. But then the next lowest owned player is Cam Smith at 11.1. So you definitely have, I mean, there's literally more than half. Well, no, let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Exactly half the field currently projected over 20%. So, with 30 players, like, this is what I'm saying, like, you have to nail it to really finish high in a GPP in a tournament. You just have to absolutely nail it. There's going to be so much volatility watching DraftKings leaderboards go up and down.
It's going to be like NASCAR. Yeah. If you've ever played NASCAR DFS, which I have, it changes like so crazy, because you'll have somebody that's in the lead and then they'll wreck and they're out of there, like totally down to the bottom. Like that's what this week is like when you're watching your PGA. You're watching your DFS lineup. It's crazy.
Now, I do think there's a couple of interesting names here, just as I'm looking at ownership projections. Currently Bryson DeChambeau is projected pretty low among the top at 12.8%. That's like the bottom 5 in ownership projections. 12.8 for Bryson, who, I mean, if you're talking about anybody from the 4 under range, he's got to be in the conversation as someone who could get nuclear hot and actually, potentially win this thing. At 12.8, right below him, Rory at 14.7, who came out last week and disclosed that he and his wife Erica are expecting, and they are expecting any day now, and kind of attributed some of the lack of sharp game lately, attributed that to just his mind being elsewhere, which I get. But some people are scared. Like if he said any day, does that mean if she goes into labor, he's out? He withdraws potentially. But that is driving down some Rory ownership early into 14% range. I'm just trying to talk through some maybe low-owned guys that are names. Patrick Reed is projected at 11.6. That is the third lowest projected player in the field. He's got plenty of experience here. He's got a great game for Eastlake. That's an interesting leverage point there. And let's see. Yeah, that's those are some big names that I think are interesting. So, DJ right now, it's being so expensive, currently projected to be 25% owned, which is good for 2, 4, 6, 8, the 9th highest owned. So 9th highest owned player is DJ. So a lot of people, maybe avoiding paying the 15.2 salary. So a lot of down at the bottom, you got guys like Billy Horschel at 5,700 coming in pretty popular at a little over 27%. So that's just kind of how ownership is looking and shaking up right now as of Tuesday. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. I would definitely recommend leaving money on the table, knowing that you have to have the winner. And then looking at each tier of where these guys are starting and thinking through who actually has a chance to really move up a tier or two in terms of finish points and scoring here at Eastlake. I think that's important.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go down there. Let's real quick. Let's talk some cheap guys. Just to talk about. I will say I'll throw out one guy at 5,600, and now he's projected at 20% owned, which is about what you would expect. But Lotto Griffin, I think, is an interesting play. And I'll say this, he started off the year very, hot, and that's probably one of the main reasons he's here. But he's played lately. He's played pretty good recently. And, he's good with his approach game right now. He's hitting greens in regulation. He's a good ball striker. What I like about him, too, though, is I listened to him today. He was on PGA Tour Radio doing an interview, and he is absolutely thrilled to just be there this week. And he said that he is so excited to be there that he's going to throw caution he is just going to go out there and have fun and try to score. And he said he's going to be as aggressive as he can be because it's just one of those weeks where he feels like he can do that. He's free.
Oh dear.
Lanto, he got me. But anyway, he said he's going to go out there and just have a lot of fun and be aggressive and kind of do his thing and just see what happens. I kind of like that attitude, especially for a guy that's, at 5,600, that doesn't have really any shot to win at all. So he's a guy that I'm kind of eyeing down cheap if I was going to be, putting in. I'm going to put one lineup in. That's what I'm going to do.
He's definitely a guy that can jump tiers. Like he's in that T16 to T20 tier, and he could definitely jump to the top 6, top 7. He's got the firepower to do that when he's playing well. I agree. I like Lanto. I'm a little surprised that Mackenzie Hughes is as low projected right now as he is at 15.3%, but I could see that being a little low for him. I could see him creeping up to 20. Got a lot of TV time, just crept in. Also his first time. He's been playing well. So, but I definitely like him. It's just, to me, it's obviously a lot about ownership. Yeah. So I don't know. That's probably, Billy Horschel and Answer are your two names down there that really pop. down there near the bottom. I mean, Ryan Palmer's been playing well. I'm sure he's very excited to be at East Lake. He hadn't been here, if ever. It's been a long time. And he's been playing really well. So, I mean, it's hard to argue with a lot of names in here except for Cameron Smith and Mark Leishman, who both really –
those are really the two that I'm like –
played terribly. Sung J M.
I can't even believe Cam Smith got in. Leishman I can see because I know – I guess Cam did win early in the year.
He won.
So that,
yeah, it's
so
the early
Leish,
points.
Yeah.
It's all about the early points here. So that's what I'm thinking.
All right. Well, here's where I do feel inadequate. I only recently discovered Chick-fil-A sauce in the last year and a half.
Nuts.
And I remember it was like a year and a half ago.
You remember where you were, don't you? You remember exactly where you were.
Yeah. And that's like a flavor.
Sometimes I have to pull over just thinking about Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah. When the flavor of Chick-fil-A sauce first touches your lips, you're like, that's something that I've never even thought could be possible.
Fuck me, Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A
right in the mouth.
Wait,
right in the mouth.
You already had good chicken and good chicken sandwiches and nuggets, but then you're gonna have a sauce on top of that that's gonna be that good.
Have you ever had chicken minis in Chick-fil-A sauce?
I'll dip anything and I'll put a damn. I don't know. I'll put anything in the damn Chick-fil-A sauce. I mean, it is so good. I'll dip an apple in a Chick-fil-A sauce if I have to, or banana. I don't give a shit. That stuff is so good.
Would you eat a pie with Chick-fil-A filling if it was like apples?
If you had a Chick-fil-A pie, Chick-fil-A sauce pie with some apples in it and a la mode ice cream, I'd eat that. That'd be probably my favorite dessert.
Listen, so my son, the same 16-year-old, I had to get him underwear. He works at Chick-fil-A and he brings home. He likes to have a stockpile of Chick-fil-A sauce at the house just in case he needs it. So right now in my fridge, there are probably 25 packs of Chick-fil-A sauce right now. I could just go down there and lick that right now.